What do you at, ladies and gentlemen, Lycos here, and in today's video we're going to continue our playthrough of No Man's Sky, and we're going to be fully upgrading a brand new S-Class ship. Make sure you stick around to the end and I'll show you the combat capabilities of this ship, and I'll show you all the mods that I currently have on my fighter. So I was at the trading post base making some chlorine for my unit farming method. If you guys haven't checked that one out yet, I'll link that video down in the description. And if you guys watched my beginner's guide video, you'll remember that I found a ship in that video that I absolutely loved, but I don't think that I had the money to buy it. So sure enough, it did come back to the trading post, and it was an A-class this time, and I really wanted to get it. But surprise, surprise, I actually hadn't farmed up enough units yet. I was just short on units, so what I had to do was fly back up to my refiners, grab the chlorine that was there, hoping that it was worth enough that I could get the units that I needed to buy the ship. I jumped back down to sell it, hoping that he wasn't going to fly away before I was able to do it, and luckily I had just enough money to buy the ship. So this is the ship, the one that I will be upgrading to S-Class, fully unlocking all of the inventory slots, all of the technology slots, and getting some really good mods to make this ship really friggin' awesome. Absolutely love this ship. It looks like an X-Wing crossed with a TIE fighter, and it even has a little droid on the wing. So it's going to be a bit of a grind to get this ship fully upgraded, but luckily I was able to use the unit farming method and a nanite farming method that I have. Actually, I have a video on that if you guys want to check it out. So just to let you guys know the basics of this, we're basically using oxygen and chlorine to make tons of chlorine, which will give you a lot of units. By having the refiners here at the base that I've made on the trading post, I can create the chlorine, and at the same time I can be looking for good A-class ships that I can bring to the space station. So by using this very simple method, we're able to find a ton of ships to bring up to the space station. We've got the teleporter here right at our base, so it makes it very, very easy. So these A-class and S-class ships that we're going to get, we're going to bring them to the space station, and then we're going to scrap them at the ship upgrade station for mods, and then we're going to sell those mods for nanites. Of course, if you see a really cool ship that you like, you can always buy it for yourself. So I was able to use this farming method to be able to get lots of units and nanites at the same time. Also, when you scrap the ships, you're getting storage augmentations, and if you're lucky to find some S-class ships, when you scrap those, you can get some really good S-class mods that you can put into your ship. We're going to be scrapping a lot of A-class ships, so you can use those in your ship as well. I find that there are a couple of A-class modifications that you can get that are nearly as good as the S-class modifications. So we're going to do all of this on the very first day of getting the ship. While we're up at the space station, I'm quickly looking around to see if there's any more ships that are coming in up there. So using this simple method, after a few hours, I ended up with over 200 million units. I had over 50,000 nanites, but I spent those 50,000 nanites upgrading my ship from an A-class to an S-class. This method is good in any system, but if you can find a system that has a wealthy economy, it's even better because you'll find higher class ships more often. So while you're exploring the galaxy, keep an eye out for a wealthy system. So what makes this method even better is that not only are you getting a ton of units and a ton of nanites to buy the mods for your ship, another really cool thing that you can get from scrapping ships is every now and then you're going to get inventory augmentations, which you can use to increase the inventory of your ship. Go into the upgrades tab, and right there you can use those augmentations. With the amount of ships that I scrapped over the few hours that I was playing, I got enough that I fully upgraded the inventory of the ship, fully upgraded the technology slots, and I even had augmentations left over afterwards, which I'm going to use for another ship. I actually found a really cool ship in the wealthy system that I was in as well, and it was an S-class ship, and of course, just as I was about to talk to the guy in order to buy the ship, just decided to fly away, so that was not so good. I was pretty disappointed when that happened. But I did get an A-class of this ship as well, so the A-class is good enough, and I'll upgrade that one just like I did with my fighter. So of course, we're also using the nanites to get upgrade mods from the vendor on the station. So what you're going to need to do is, while you're out exploring the different systems, you're going to want to check multiple different space stations. Now, one more place that you're going to want to visit to get some good mods for your ship is the anomaly. There's a vendor in the back of the anomaly that you're going to want to check out. There's some very useful mods here. In particular, he has some very good hyperdrive mods that you can get that will allow you to go to different types of stars, like the red star, green star, and blue star. Also, he's got some very good mods for your ship launch system. There's a mod that he's got that allows it to recharge over time, so that one is really good. And he's got a bunch of other really useful mods, and this is actually where you get your economy scanner. To check out the economy, they've got some really good mods that you're definitely going to want for your ship. Now let's take a look at the mods that I have on my ship. A very important type of mod that you're definitely going to want to get is the hyperdrive mod. Basic hyperdrive mods that you get, you can only have 3 in the inventory. Once you go past 3, you'll see a red exclamation mark come up on them, and that means that you have too many mods there in the inventory and they're not working. There's a little workaround for this. You can have 3 in your inventory slots, and then you can have 3 more in the technology slots. But the mods that you get from the anomaly doesn't count towards this max number of mods, so you can have those in addition to the 3 that you already have. Now make sure that you put them next to each other so that you get the bonus. You'll see that there is a colored border around the mod, and that means that it's getting bonuses from the adjacent mods that are connected to it. The hyperdrive mods are usually my first priority when I'm first upgrading a ship. It's also a good idea to get a few mods for your pulse engine. Now as for combat mods, on all of my ships I use the basic weapons that your very first ship starts out with. I use the rockets and I use the photon cannons. I find that those are more than capable of taking out the pirates that you're going to come across. They are some of the best weapons in the game. So there's one mod that you can get for the rockets on the anomaly. I usually always get that one. There's also a photon cannon upgrade there, and I usually get a few other photon cannon upgrades. So here I've also upgraded my shields to make that ship even more overpowered. Alright, now that we got our ship fully upgraded, let's head out, take on some pirates, and see how powerful this ship actually is.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push a mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact. Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind you know I'll always manifest it.
As you guys can see, when you have a few upgrades for the photon cannons and the rockets, you absolutely shred through enemies, and we barely took any damage. Now here's a full look at all of the mods that I currently have on my ship. My top priority when starting out are the hyperdrive mods. Pulse engine mods are also very good. I really like having the economy scanner, because that way you can see the economy for each system before you even go to that system. The combat mods like the shields and the weapon mods aren't a priority, but I do like to always pick those up because I like to be able to shred through those pirates as quickly as possible. And some other really good mods to get at the beginning of the game are mods for your thrusters. This will help you save on the launch thruster fuel, because especially early on in the game, you're probably going to be landing and taking off pretty often. Now that's it for this one, everyone. I hope you got some useful information from it. Hit that like button if you did, it really helps out the video. Thank you all for watching, and as always, stay where you're at, and I'll come where you're to. Later, everyone.